All right, what is good? What is good? TikTok, how we doing? Trump wants America to be obedient. Yes, they do. And obedient they are. So obedient. Just so obedient. And they've been in my comments just pledging their obedience. They have MAGA just has no self-respect. And I'm here to say America and Americans have more self-respect than what MAGA shows on a daily basis. On a daily basis, MAGA continues and they wear their obedience like a badge of honor. And they love they love to show their obedience, and it's frustrating to watch because it's like I'm not going to join in that obedience and submissiveness. I'm not going to just stand by and just let the government take away rights of people, because I realize that if you start taking rights away from any person on American soil, you're taking rights away from everyone on American soil. This isn't a, oh, they're doing it to them, they're not doing it to me type shit. No. Like the fucking lack of empathy that MAGA shows on a daily basis. They don't care as long as it doesn't affect them. But they fail to realize that down the road, it's going to affect them. It is going to affect them. But they are just so in the cult, they can't see it. And they're in the comments about this federal judge video. Wow, did they come out for that video? Just have to show. This is the one thing that MAGA can hang on to now. And that's the one thing that Trump is hammering, because he's failed on the economy. He's failing on the Russia-Ukraine situation. He's failing in the Middle East. He can't get control over Israel like he was going to anyway. That whole ceasefire was a bit on Israel. They don't really care. They've shown they don't care about the hostages. Israel's shown they don't give a shit about the hostages. So that was just a publicity stunt and a little help out of their friend Trump. So Trump wants America to be obedient like MAGA, because MAGA is the most obedient and submissive political party in American history. They are obedient. They are allowing government to tread on them and to take rights away from them at an alarming rate. At such an alarming rate, America, for the first time, gets put on a civil watch list for a country rapidly losing their freedoms. Rapidly losing their freedoms. Thank you so much for the follows. Appreciate that. And you have MAGA cheering this on. And I've said before that Trump's actions aren't just unconstitutional, they are anti-constitutional. They are antithetical to what this country was founded on. And I also want to point out, too, because there's a lot of this question of morality and how it relates to the Constitution. And what makes our Constitution so beautiful is that we can amendment so that it can form to the morality of the moment. And that's why I argue that America is greater now than it ever has been, because of all of these amendments that we've made over time. Yes, it had flaws. And guess what? The founding fathers knew that their Constitution had flaws, and they knew it would need to be changed. And that's why they wrote it in it, for it to be malleable. And what is at issue here is we can talk about morality and how it ties into the Constitution. It needs to be a reflection of our Constitution. And if we go down this path of claiming this to be right and morally right, right? Like MAGA feels morally right in treating other human beings like this because they lack documents. Because they lack documents, they don't see them as human. And we need to call that out. We need to call that out. It is the same view that people had when this country was founded of a certain group. And we all know, and I can't say certain things on a TikTok live, but you know who I'm talking about, who wasn't even considered a person. And the amount of times that I have had to quote the Fourth and Fifth Amendment is pretty alarming the last 24 hours. I'm just going to speak on all these comments from that video. It is wild that we're here. And I meant it when I said that it took 95 days for me to finally be surprised by something in this administration. It took 95 days. I'm not to say that I am bypassing all that he's done in these 95 days. I just was mentally prepared for everything that he's done in the first 95 days. But the arrest of a judge, and I did mess this up in the video. I did call her a federal judge. My fucking bad. When you make these videos, and it's not to say that we don't get certain things wrong about a story, but you fix them, okay? I fixed it. I recognized it. And I did say federal judge. My bad. But to hang, that's one of the points that people are hung up on, is that I said a federal judge. Okay, whatever. And the second thing is, you only care for these amendments and these rights to be applied to citizens. Nowhere in here does it, in the Constitution, does it say citizens. It says persons. Persons. And the fact that MAGA just keeps saying that it only applies to citizens and not persons. All persons on American soil have due process, have a right to due process. And it's also important to realize that this Constitution is not there to protect the government from the people. It is to protect the people from the government, from an overreaching government, from a tyrannical government. And that's where they're constantly taking the side of the oppressor without realizing they are taking the side of the oppressor. What's happening here, but I'm going to close that out. But it's so, judges are not above the law. I am not saying that. And that's another point. Okay. Nowhere in the video am I saying that judges are above the law. In no way, shape, or form is anyone above the law. Presidents are not above the law. Presidents are not above the law. Period. No one is. And that's the point. And why Merrick Garland is not going to be looked at favorably in the history books. He sat on these investigations. He did not act with haste, with seeing him as a clear and present danger. You sat on those cases for years. Okay, yes, some of them you needed to build up. I'm not saying you weren't doing absolutely nothing, but were you doing everything in your power to realize what a clear and present danger Donald Trump was to the country? And did you act accordingly to that? You took an oath to protect the American people from both domestic and foreign. Both domestic and foreign. And this is a clear, and Christopher Wray even spoke on this, of the number one threat is from within. It's from within. It's from these radical right, the radical right. And we need to keep saying that. They like to say radical left, radical right. They are radical. This is radical. This is a radical time. And this is a freight train hitting our Constitution. He is antithetical to the Constitution. He's everything that they warned about. And we went down this path. Shout out Cory Booker. Shout out Hakeem Jeffries, I guess. Hakeem Jeffries, to me, is still cringe. He's just so robotic and just tries to say all these catchphrases, and it just doesn't come off with that emotion. I am not a huge Hakeem Jeffries being Speaker of the House fan here. I do like what Cory Booker's doing, finally putting some action down. Live stream. I was watching the live stream earlier. Shout out Cory Booker. Big Cory Booker fan in this moment. Meet the moment. Meet the moment, Democrats. Meet the fucking moment. Don't act, in quiet, in not speaking out loudly about this and joining these protests every weekend. And I love that they're every weekend. And also want to shout out Star Wars Day, May the 4th. There's going to be themed protests, which I really think is awesome. I think that's awesome. People really can grasp allegories, and I think allegories in this situation make it understandable of what this moment is. If you can allegorize our situation so that people can understand it better, I'm all for it. I'm all for that. And I think allegories and fictional stories can have an impact. And that's something that On Tyranny talked about. And he lists off a bunch of books that you should read if you want to read. And it's good to read in these moments. And as such, got some new books here. Ones that I've read, once upon a time, but didn't have on my library here. Building up my mini library. If I do have one addiction, it is books. I do like to collect books and get books. Big fan of books here and reading. So picked up Animal Farm. Picked up on the Don't Know Much About History book, 30th year anniversary. Fight Club, the book, great movie as well, but from a different perspective of that male anger, right? That gets exemplified there. I think, again, an allegory, and what we're seeing now with this false masculinity of what we think it is to be masculine in America is definitely skewed, and we saw that play out in this 2024 election, and we see that play out when Trump makes visits to UFC. We know what he's signaling there. We know what he's signaling there. Not even recognizing RFK Jr.'s wife. Not even recognizing her. Letting the women know this isn't for them. And going on Aiden Ross's fucking stream. Okay? What this is all signaling. Bringing someone like Andrew to Florida, to Miami. We know what that's signaling. We need to openly talk about that, because we know who you're trying to recruit with that. And it's something I want to hit on too, is when it comes to this isolationism, and if shit hits the fan the way it's looking right now, of like, what's the solution here? Because you have a group, a large group of his base that is not going anywhere. Why his popularity will never sink below a certain number? He's got those people to the end. To the end. They are drinking the Kool-Aid. Whatever he says, they are worshiping. Okay? That group is not ever going anywhere. That's why he can flip-flop 180 from one day to the next. He could be for something on Monday and against it on Tuesday, and his supporters will follow him. They will be for it one day, against it the next. And they will do that for tariffs, against tariffs, for tariffs, against it. Whatever issue, they will flip-flop. They will flip-flop with their leader. Whatever he says goes with MAGA. He has that 33%, 34% of the population that will not go anywhere, that will follow him to the depths. And that's why I also say that my videos and my live streams are not for them. There's no reaching. At this point, there's no reaching them. There's just not. That's just, they have to be willing to come out of it. It is dealing with someone in a cult. And the more you try to tell them that they're in it, the hardened they become. So you have to come with this, like, you're supposed to be open and all of this. Okay, I fucking hear it. But there comes a point of, like, you can't talk to a certain people that wants to deport you now, who wants to lock you up simply for existing, because you are existing opposing them and speaking out opposing them. They're not for freedom of speech. So this, again, coming back to that term, paradox of tolerance, the more you tolerate all thinking, the less tolerant the society becomes. So the ones that are saying they're for freedom of speech are the exact ones who are against it, who want to see people locked up and in some cases deported on their speech. And I love that he's had to roll back his stance on revoking student visas because he faced such a mountain of paperwork to fight that, on so many judges ruling against that in so many different states. They couldn't fight it and they had to do a 180. How many executive orders have just crumbled? They have just crumbled. Appreciate you liking the live and for following. Appreciate you. Happy Sunday. They have just absolutely crumbled. Stop breaking the law. Trump, he should stop breaking the law. He should stop being anti-constitutional. Trump should most definitely be stopping that. He should stop being anti-constitutional in almost all of his actions. Have we gone a single day in this second term where he hasn't committed an act that was against the Constitution? It is relentless. His attacks on the Constitution, his attacks on the judiciary. He already has. He would be attacking Congress if they weren't being submissive. No one is above the law. Yes, and that's presidents included. Presidents are not against the law. That's exactly right. The president is a public servant, nothing more. Stop worshiping him. That is the other concerning thing, and why MAGA is so obedient. They worship him. He is a politician. Stop worshiping politicians. And the other thing I find ironic with MAGA is they go from never believing anything the FBI says, never trust the government, to then believing everything the FBI says and believing everything the government. Be consistent. They are the least consistent cult ever. They stand on nothing. But being able to say, we own the libs, we own the libs. That's all they get to fucking hang their hat on. And now they're so desperate and so depraved. All they have to hang their hat on now is these mass deportations. The economy's not getting better. He's done nothing for removing tax on tips, tax on overtime. He signed so many bullshit executive orders. He's signed. Executive orders that he and his lawyers know will not pass the test, right? Okay? He's wasted his time. He gets the cameras out. He doesn't even know what he's signing, first of all. He has to have the person tell him what he's signing. He has to have his handler tell him what he's signing. He's not even, and MAGA will just say, that's what it's for. Did you fucking read the executive order? Do you know what he's actually signing? No, you don't. You don't know what he's signing. He doesn't even know what he's signing. We're just in a land of delusion now. Okay? So he's not even giving you pretend wins. Why wouldn't he just sign an executive order for these. He signed so many fucking bullshit ass executive orders. Why not give you even a pretend win, MAGA? He's not even giving you a pretend fucking win. He doesn't give a shit about you. He tricked you. He got you to vote for him again. He did the same trick this time, and you fell for it for a third time. You fell for the trick. You were tricked. Now he doesn't need you anymore. He said, you vote for me this one time. You vote for me this one time. You'll never have to vote again. You will never have to vote again, is what he told you. He even had a Freudian slip and said, I don't actually care about you. I just want your vote. And you guys said, okay. You guys said, okay. Hey, thanks for liking the live. Appreciate you. Appreciate the follow. Thank you so much. Thanks, Jay, for liking the live. Appreciate you. And Marina, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. Check out the link in bio and let's connect on other apps, because again, he's dangling TikTok ban. He's dangling the TikTok ban. So he's definitely going to use that for a selfish purpose at some point, and we're already seeing it change. So make sure we're connected across all platforms and get out there too. Meet people in person. That is, I can't stress that enough, how important that is. We could lose all of social media if shit hits the fan. It could be just a flip of a fucking switch, and that's what they are looking for. Shut it all down. They don't want you communicating. They will start dwarfing the outreach of some of these accounts if they want to. Oh, ban this term, ban this term, ban this term. How many live streams have I watched recently where they say something wrong? And that's why I don't do them all the time. You don't know what you're going to say. Instant off, instantly off, instantly fucking your account up. Instantly fucking your account up. And I live streamed at the protests, and I appreciate everyone who tuned into that, and going to be doing more of those, getting out there, because again, this in-person stuff, we got to go old school 60s style with this, right? They were able to organize very well outside of social media. We cannot be so beholden to social media on any platform, just in general. So the in-person stuff is invaluable. Make sure you are connecting with people and you know what resources are available to you, because it's very real. Like, you have to realize that this wouldn't be the first time in American history that this has happened, of neighbor on neighbor, instant shit hitting the fan, and it's neighbor on neighbor. And it's those that don't know history that don't know this, that shit can hit the fan instantly, and overnight, it is your neighbor. You have to choose a side. There's no, I'm going to just sit this one out, because you are then making yourself vulnerable to either side to take you out. You have to choose a side. There comes a time, and me personally, my ancestors have been here when shit has hit the fan for this. Overnight, it is neighbor on neighbor. You have to know where you stand. You have to know where your fucking people are in those moments. This isn't fear-mongering. This is saying what has happened multiple times throughout American history, which is a short history. 249 years is fucking nothing. 249 years is a fucking blink. It is nothing. But at the same time, it is something. It is something, but it's a little something. China's like, we've been here 5,000 years, bitch. We've been here 5,000 years. We're not picking up the phone for you. Who the fuck are you? China says, we own almost $1 trillion of your debt. Who owns the debt in this relationship? Who's paying the fucking bills in this relationship? And just bending Trump over and clapping those fucking cheeks. Look up these ports right now. Look up these ports that don't have ships in them right now. He's got weeks before shit hits the fan with China. For real. For real. And MAGA finds out for real how quickly those shelves can fucking empty. They can find out for real all these little luxuries that they love to have, that they've become used to. They become obedient in going to Walmart and allowing for these small mom and pops to be taken over by them. They fall right in. Oh, they got the best prices. They love it. But then they want to then go home and hate on China. You love it. You love it. You love it. The argument now isn't him, it's demonizing Vance so he doesn't run. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, okay, 2026, Congress goes blue, Senate goes blue, you impeach Trump, you get him out of office, you have Vance now to deal with. And he was chosen for a purpose, Peter Thiel. He's Peter Thiel's puppet. He's like MAGA, doesn't have any really strong beliefs. He just goes with the wind, goes with what he's told. He gives obeying orders energy, big obeying orders energy, which MAGA gives. MAGA is big tread on me energy. MAGA is please tell me what to do energy. MAGA is big on I won't cite a source ever energy. I just go off my fifis energy. I need to be in my safe space. MAGA they really need their safe space. And if you invade their safe fantasy, their little bubble, they get real angry. They get real angry. They have their little MAGA bubble. They have their little MAGA bubble. And if reality starts to creep in on that, they get real angry. They get real angry. Yeah. But they'll never get angry at their dear leader. No, they won't. They will not get angry at Trump. Never. They will never. Never. They are so obedient. Trump has them so well trained. And this is why he's gearing up the fight with Jerome Powell. He is going to try and blame Jerome Powell for this collapse. That's why I don't think, he said he's going to capitulate on the tariffs. He is going to bring them down some, but there's still going to be a hiccup in deliveries with these ports being empty right now. There is going to be a gap at some point, even if it's short-lived, because he capitulates all the time. Again, he's just doing things without thinking. Dementia Don is not out here playing 18D chess, okay? I think it's gone up he's playing 3D chess. Then he's playing 4D chess. And then it went up to 5D chess because why the fuck not? So then it's 6D chess. What the fuck? He's flip-flopping and capitulating and manipulating the market. And he made over $400 million in one of those trading days where he's purposely manipulating the market, enriching himself, enriching his friends. Imagine being on that group chat. Imagine being in that group chat. He is bringing the crypto mindset into the stock market. This is what happens in crypto all the time, where a group of people get together, manipulate a meme coin, pump and dump on fucking idiots, and if you're not in that group chat, you are getting burned. So there are going to be smaller fish who try to time the market, who try to time the stock market, who are currently getting fucking burned. 401ks getting burned. The debt is skyrocketing, okay? The debt is skyrocketing. Still got $500 for every post helping demo rats? What is that? Mega equals beta. I could go for that. I like that. Mega men are so hormonal. Mega men are so hormonal. They don't know how to control their emotions. They just get so off the rails with their personal attacks. See, there's the personal attacks. There it is. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the likes, getting us close to 1,000 likes. Thank you so much. Yeah, and then they do fear mongering. They do homophobic slurs, as if that's like an insult. As if that's an insult. Like, their emotional intelligence is right in par with their literacy rates, about third grade. So when you see them, like all the name calling and personal attacks, send in our rose, alpaca lady. Thank you so much. Thank you for the follow and for the rose. Thank you so much. Appreciate you supporting. Liar. And they just do that because MAGA likes to be in their little bubble. They like their little bubble. So nothing hurts them. Nothing hurts them when they go in their little bubble. And see, go cry. You know, it's kind of sadistic that another person's pain would bring you joy. Why does another person's pain bring you joy? What kind of sociopath receives joy from another person's pain? Why would another person's pain positively impact your life in any way? In any way. Why would another person's pain bring you joy? And that's the thing. That's what you have to hang this entire term on is that kind of thinking. Oh, other people are suffering and I have to seek joy from that suffering because he's given me nothing. Trump has given you nothing but that. And that's all he has now because he didn't have a plan for the economy. He didn't have a plan. Are you realizing that you've been tricked? And that's why I don't try to reach out to you until you realize, hey, I've been fucking tricked. No, fucking YouTube. Oh, man. You guys on YouTube are relentless. Relentless on YouTube. But for whatever reason, this last video on TikTok, it normally pushes it out to a certain group that I'm really trying to reach. But this video in particular about the judges, you guys came out of the fucking woodwork on TikTok. I got pushed down the rabbit hole of TikTok on that one, where MAGA came out for that one. You guys really came out for this judge, huh? Huh? You guys really fucking came out for this judge. But what I love about TikTok is I can reply with videos to these comments. I love that feature. And I can't wait for that feature to hit YouTube. Please. Oh, you fucks. Oh, you fuckers on fucking YouTube. You fucking drain every ounce of fucking patience out of me. Oh. How do you guys have the time to write a fucking paragraphs on a YouTube short? Paragraphs. I have screenshots and I've had to screen record responses because a screenshot isn't big enough to fit the entire comment that you left on my YouTube short. You spent more time on that comment than I did recording the fucking YouTube short. But man, do you guys have the fucking time to be openly fucking hateful and socio-fucking-pathic. Oh, you mother. Oh. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Mega men are so hormonal. So hormonal. And me being assertive in this and calling you out always for this low emotionally intelligent behavior. It exemplifies low emotional intelligence. Period. Period. And what's concerning is this generation, this next generation. So Generation Alpha is the first generation in human history that doesn't know life without social media. Generation Alpha from 2010 to 2024 is the first generation in human history to not know life without social media. Okay? We haven't even seen them vote in elections yet, but they are being raised by people like Aiden Ross and Andrew. I don't want to say his full name on TikTok, but because he's banned, and he's banned on Twitch. So Andrew, yeah, that fuck, are raising this generation, right? This iPad generation, the iPad being the new digital pacifier, right? A lot of these parents overworked. The parents are overworked. This generation of parents has to work double the amount of hours that their parents or grandparents had to work to pay the bills. And that problem is getting worse with this administration. You think he's going to make your life any better? Fuck no. $5,000 to have a fucking kid? That is an insult. A fucking insult. The same way it was an insult to those stimulus checks. The amount of those stimulus checks were a fucking insult. And anyone who tells you otherwise is fucking obedient. Oh, thank you for the pennies. Oh, master, thank you for the pennies. Oh, $1,000, $1,200. You guys bent over backwards for $1,200. That was a fucking slap in the face compared to what they made out with these PPP loans, which the PPP loans, they forgave. They forgave those PPP loans. All those millionaires that got those, Tom Brady, my sports hero, Tom Brady received it, right? He's a fucking multi-millionaire many times over, and he's out here getting a PPP loan. What the fuck? All those get forgiven. All those get forgiven. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And another thing I'm watching that's rapidly developing, and it's something I've written on for years and been paying attention to for years. The conflict between India and Pakistan. Noam Chomsky has long said that this would be the first water wars that we've seen on this planet. The first water wars. Yes. There's certain things I can't say on a live, but watermelon. Watermelon. That's what I'll say. Watermelon, my friend. Yes. And another conflict that has gotten rapidly worse with this administration, as we knew it would. But he tricked people into thinking he was Mr. Peace when we knew deep down he was not Mr. Peace and that he would be very terrible for the situation and wanting to make now Trump Gaza. What the fuck? Like openly laughing about unaliving an entire population and displacing them. Thank you for sharing the live. Thank you so much. Yeah. So that's where we're at with that. Just on all of these fronts, really terrible. And thank you for the follow on Twitch. Queen Jade, thank you so much. Yes, we are live on Twitch and Kick R. Lanham, Twitch, Blease Art, Been streaming on there for a while. Trying to get to 200. That's my next kind of goal there. So link in bio for the live stream on Twitch if you want to tune into that. Yep, but live on Twitch as well. Thank you for the follow, Queen Jade Blue. And Bros you on the road to 200 followers on Twitch. So appreciate that. Again, just trying to connect on multiple platforms. We cannot trust these platforms in all. So in person, get that in person in. You cannot trust these social media platforms, especially with this administration and the way that they are attacking free speech and the way that people like Jeff Bezos and Zuckerberg have cozied up to this administration is alarming. The way that they are all in on this fucking oligarchy, okay? They are all in on it. And as we get closer to 2028, we need to be organized because 2028, I don't like to fearmonger the future. I do write more than what I say. I will say that. But I am one that does not put out content that will talk about what's going to happen in the future. I stick strictly to what has happened, okay? And I put the fucking pieces together. I put what has happened and is happening in the moment to kind of guide my view of where I think it will be going so I can mentally prepare. And like I've said, I went 95 days in this administration being mentally prepared for everything that he was doing. And the first time being surprised actually was when they did arrest a judge. I really was shocked, and it kind of hit home to me that we're here. We are here now. It's real. Like I've been saying that it's an ongoing constitutional crisis. Day 97 of a constitutional crisis. You knew it was going to be a constitutional crisis from the moment he swore an oath. That's why I was even more frustrated that Democrats didn't do more. Why not release more of what you had on him? Exactly. Let the public know and be aware of all the evidence you had against him. I know that these cases could come back to him years later. And I think they should. As soon as he's out of office, those charges should be brought back. Those cases should be had. Are we allowed to disagree with you? Sure, you can disagree with me. But I would say I'm not interested in knowing what you have to say if you're on the opposite side of diversity, if you're on the opposite side of equity, if you're on the opposite side of inclusion. You're on the opposite side of diversity, equity, and inclusion. So state exactly what that means. I want you to state. I think the constitutional crisis trigger words is ineffective this far. You think so? Have you not been seeing the protests every single weekend, and they're growing? The 50-51 movement, shout out to the 50-51 movement, growing not only in this country but around the world. Okay? You think it's ineffective? I smell cope. I think you're trying to cope. I think you are trying to cope. And cheers to all my coffee drinkers. This is actually the first print I've ever did. That I've had this coffee mug for a long time. The first printed coffee mug I made years ago. Trigger words. And they're not trigger words. It's what we're in. It is what we are in. We have a convicted felon president who is openly defying court orders. He's adhering to some, okay? He is flip-flopping. So the checks and balances on power is to some extent still holding, but In some ways, it's not. People are not getting due process. And how about those now what? 3 American children deported. 3 pro-life, and they like to pretend that they are pro-life when they are not. They are pro controlling what a woman does with her body. That's what they're pro. That's what they are pro. Thank you, Bobby, for the follow. Appreciate the likes. Getting us up to 1,000 likes. Thank you so much. You just confirmed my decision to follow you. Thank you so much. Digiditions.com. Okay. Not a shill, but okay. Appreciate the follow. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yeah, I do prints and stuff just for fun. I like it. But yeah, link in bio if you want to just check out my art. I am an artiste and a writer at heart. But I just couldn't stand by and not speak on the political aspect of our time. I couldn't live with myself anymore. It's something I've been writing on for years, but then started kind of getting in front of the camera, more speaking on it and speaking about what I've been reading and what I've been writing. I've been working on this thesis now, going on 12 years with this thesis. Started it when I was in college, and it's just evolved over time. And this is the next iteration of this thesis of doing these live streams and just kind of free flowing and just seeing where they go and putting it together, right, in this book that I'm working on. So writing a lot, and just it's been a fun process too of transcribing my live streams and going from there and seeing where that leads. But yeah, it's a process. It's a process, and it's been fun, and I appreciate everyone who's been a part of it so far. And we're going to just keep it going because, you know, what good is some of this art and just the time to do art if we're taking this democracy for granted? And I feel, as a country, and as much as we call MAGA out and all of this, we're all on the same damn boat. We're all on this fucking boat together. And it's fucked. It's fucked. Because I don't want to be on the same team. I don't want to be on the same team as schmatzis. And I put out a post on Substack and Blue Sky about, if you're still using Twitter in 2025, you're either a schmatzi yourself or you're a schmatzi sympathizer. And I know that's harsh, and I know there's good people still on there because it's a way for them to connect, but there's other options. And I am liking that independent journalists are using Substack. I'm going to be trying to use it. Obedient equals obeying. Oh, look at that. Just unironically. Obedient equals obeying the law. Just following orders. Just following orders. MAGA gives, like I said, MAGA gives big, I'm just following orders energy. They give big, just following orders energy. And they openly prove this time and time again, time and time again. Russia created MAGA, and Putin knows how to make a population obedient and submissive, and to overhaul a government. And he's done it. And the other thing I want to point out too is when you call out them pushing Russian propaganda, and they're like, well, we should listen to him. We should listen to him. No, I'm sorry. Someone who's held on to power the way that Putin has held on to power is not someone I'm ever fucking listening to. His word is invalid. Off rip. whatever the fuck he's saying right now, the way that he's held power, if you respect Navalny at all, you don't listen to a fucking word he says. He is a tyrant. I don't give a fuck what he has to fucking say. You're telling me he wins elections by 99% of the vote? Get the fuck out. I don't have to listen to it. So the way that they normalize that just proves that they openly share Russian propaganda. They've been duped, and it's easier to dupe someone to tell them they've been duped. No jobs for blue states. Yeah, they are a third of the voters. It's just, they finally win the popular vote the first time in 20 years, 2 fucking decades. They win the popular vote by a small margin, mind you. And the only reason they won the popular vote is people stayed home. She lost to the couch. They left voters out. There is still more like-minded people than there are that think in terms of constant red and blue, man. Every fucking issue they politicize. It is fucking tiring at this point. Tiring. But will not give in. Still will be mentally resilient. Still will be out here. It's a marathon, not a sprint. You know, after 10 years of arguing with these fucking people, they are so fucking dense and willfully ignorant and proud in their ignorance. I have family members who are like this. I have lifelong friends who are like this. I have now since cut ties with them because I just can't. It's one thing to talk to people I don't know who say these talking points and who lack this emotional intelligence, but it just was hitting on another level where, you know, I don't respect you. MAGA has no self-respect. If you're this obedient and this submissive and this worshiping of a politician, you have no self-respect. So how can I respect you when you don't even respect yourself? You don't even respect yourself. It takes self-respect to get respect, and you have no respect for yourself. So why the fuck would I respect you? So, given that I don't respect you, I will continue to put you in your place. And that's what we have to do in this moment. We have to put this mindset in its place. And America, again, has done this multiple times throughout American history. We've put them in their fucking place. Okay? You were on the other side of the civil rights. We put you in your fucking place. We told you you were wrong, and we proved it to you. And we will do it again and again. You were on the other side of gay rights, gay marriage, and we put you in your fucking place. You were on the other side of women's suffrage. You didn't want women to vote. And we put you in your fucking place. And we added amendments to this Constitution that hold to this day. We put you in your place, MAGA. And this is a mindset that is beyond MAGA. Unions, workers came together and said, we outnumber you. We are going to stand up to our capital owners and say, you are nothing without us. See the personal attacks. No. You can do personal attacks like that. Show your low emotional intelligence like that. What would that have to do? My location. What would that have to do with what I am saying and what argument I'm having? I haven't lived with my mother since I was 11 years old. Okay? If you want to know the truth about it, but I have to tell you the fucking truth about it. Because it doesn't fucking matter. Look at this. Russia created MAGA to be anti-American. Russia created MAGA to be anti-American. And they say it and show it with statements like this, not even realizing. They have no self-awareness to realize that this is inherently anti-American, anti-constitutional, antithetical to the Constitution to say that, to say such a thing. But they love to be treaded on. They love to be treaded on. They get stomped on. They get fucking stomped on, and they're like, more, please, more. They're so obedient and submissive. And again, when you say something like this, you have no self-respect. And when you have no self-respect, by saying something like this, you have no self-respect. Therefore, I will never respect you. And yeah, no, you will get no respect from me. None. Appreciate that, Lisa. Take your anxiety pill. Like, what does, that's such a weird statement. And stop hate watching. This isn't for you. I don't know why you guys love hate watching. Shouldn't you be out celebrating your guy? He's doing so much for you, right? So he's doing so much for you, right? And see, this is the other thing with you guys in these comments. There's just so many angles about you will say majority the same thing across multiple accounts. You guys are really fucking bots. You guys get your talking points. You guys get your talking points ingrained, and then you repeat them. Look at the comments in my video, of my video like 3 videos back. You guys came out for that one, and it's alarming that you guys say the same verbiage, the same phrasing over and over and over again, over and over. It's the same line. You guys get told the talking point, and there's usually like a gap, like something will happen, right? And then the conservative media has to get together, and they're like, how are we going to phrase this? How are we going to put this out? They get together. So there's usually a gap where MAGA's silent during this time because they haven't been given their orders yet. And then there's, after that gap, when they have the messaging down, you'll see them in the comments. They're silent in that window, right? There's like a window. Something happens, and then media has to come up for talking points for them. So in that gap, they're really silent. But then they get the talking points. You're going to see them in your fucking comments saying verbatim those talking points. Go look at the comments. I am adding probably multiple chapters in my book that are all screenshots of comments that I've received the past 10 years on different media, right? And talking about this, of how they talk and how they phrase certain words and use certain words. A lot of the words that they say, again, another symbol for a cult is using made up words. They use these made up words, libtard, for example, a made up fucking word. It lets others know they're in the cult. They're in the in group, right? They're in, man. We're so in. We're going to use that word. No. Yeah. And imagine, like, okay, so now they're so obedient, right? And you've got Elon Musk with Neuralink. Well, now he has millions of people who would probably willingly do that for free. All the things they fear-mongered Bill Gates on, Elon's actually doing, and they support it. MAGA spent years and years and years coming up with all of these conspiracy theories about Bill Gates. And now you've got Elon actually doing it, and they're for it. And they're for it. So you're going to have them lined up. Oh, this is going to make me smarter. And imagine it's Elon like programming the message. Right now they're doing it through Twitter. They're doing it through the Fox News or whatever the fuck, right? I will say, that's conservatives have their fucking messaging down. They keep it simple, stupid. They keep it simple for stupid, right? And that's why he talks at a third grade reading level is that common denominator, right? Keeping it at the messaging as simple as possible. Because you start talking geopolitics, you're going over the heads of 98% of them. They will have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. And when I say, MAGA, that you're uneducated, it's not blaming you. Don't take the blame for that. When I say that you're uneducated, it is just simply pointing out that your environment failed you. Your environment, by design, mind you, of course it's by design to keep you uneducated. Because if you're not educated, and go look at the comments in that video, you will realize how many times I've simply had to say, read the Constitution. Because your comments let me know you clearly have not read the Constitution. That you clearly have not read it. Just by what you are saying. They're not very long amendments. They're like a paragraph. MAGA, I know you average about a third grade reading level, okay? I know you do. I know you do. But I think you should be able to get through a little paragraph and to know your rights. Maybe you should know your rights. And the funny thing is, like, MAGA hates on undocumented migrants or just immigrants in general who come to this country and who become citizens and they have to pass the citizenship test, right? I would like to see MAGA have to pass a citizenship test to vote. If you want to change voting laws, how about we add that little caveat that you have to pass a simple citizenship test in order to vote? I think you should at least Marjorie Taylor fucking Greene have to pass a citizenship test to be a member of Congress. Hi, Master Liberty tuning in on Twitch. Bleesart on Twitch. What is good? Happy Sunday. How's your day been? It's been all right. A little cold snap here in New York City, but doing okay. Talking about Trump wanting America to be obedient like MAGA, because MAGA is the most obedient and submissive political party in American history. They choose a person over the Constitution, and they openly welcome the government treading on their rights. Oh, beautiful. You should also see my recent video. You guys want to choose your fantasy over science? By all means, choose your little fantasy over science, but don't come begging for science to come save your fucking ass, okay? Don't come rushing to the fucking hospital when you can't fucking breathe, okay? Because you ignored science. Because you ignored science about something spreading, right? You ignored science. So don't come, what you did in summer of 2021, 95% of you in the hospital didn't get the jab, okay? And you filled the fucking hospitals. You guys ignored science, but then came running for science to save your fucking ass. I say, pull your fucking bootstraps up, okay? You want to hate on education, Dale? You want to fucking hate on education? Dale. You know better than education? Dale. Don't come running to an educated doctor to come save your fucking ass, okay? When your fucking heart fails because you filled it with fucking McDonald's, that good old American McDonald's, when you filled your fucking heart full of that, don't come to fucking science to come save your fucking ass. Survival of the fittest, bitch. Survival, fuck around and find out. If you guys want to ignore science in Texas and not get the jab about a fucking disease that has already been cured, if you die from a fucking disease in 2025 that's been fucking cured, you fucking deserve it. Good fucking riddance. You ignored science. You fucked around. You found out. Survival of the fittest, bitch. Survival of the fittest. Pull your fucking bootstraps up. I have absolutely no sympathy for you. You want to stick your middle finger up to science? Well, guess what? Science doesn't give a fuck if you believe in it or not. Science doesn't give a fuck if you believe in it or not. You don't believe in gravity? Gravity still fucking affects you. Good riddance. Let natural selection filter this shit out. Let evolution filter it out. If you don't want to act like the result of millions of years of evolution, then find out. Then you are fucking around, and all I want you to do is find the fuck out. Survival of the fittest has nothing to do with science. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. See what I mean by third grade literacy? Okay? Because survival of the fittest is something you learn in middle school, right? Okay? So third grade, all right? You're going to be elementary level, okay? Elementary level here. Just it's elementary, dear Watson. It's elementary. Survival of the fittest has nothing to do with oh my, their ignorance. You guys are so fucking ignorant and so fucking low of intelligence. Oh, it's hilarious. Fucking hilarious. Fucking hilarious. Oh man. Oh my Lord. Has nothing to do with science. Please. This is why I say that where's the common ground going to be? I think the internet really split us apart, and we're living in different realities. And I think that is going to it has a mental aspect to that, but it's going to have a physical effect as well. And I think that physical effect will be eventually two separate countries, right? I was looking up the population of America in 1776. It was 2.5 million people. Okay? We've gone from 2.5 million people to 333 million people. All right? That is incredible growth for a country in a short period of time. 249 years is a short period of time. I have gotten Clark Kent a lot. Thank you. When I wear these glasses, I do get Clark Kent. So appreciate that. But I do think there will come a time where it does split into two countries. I could see that happening. Even now, with the difference of laws from state to state, it feels like you're in a different country. I lived in Florida for 10 years. You could man up. Oh, you must have missed my point of when I said that we will put this mentality in its place. We will put MAGA in their place. You must have missed that part. You must have not been here for that part where we told you we will put you in your place, as we have multiple times throughout American history. Easy. We will just put you in your place. There's more like-minded people, such as myself, who will stand up for what is right and put you in your place. We will put MAGA in their place because MAGA is obedient and submissive, right? Okay? Okay. All right. Just letting you know. Just letting you know. Just letting you know. I love the misuse of the word there. I love it. I love their misuse of they always think they got it. Oh, you had a 1 in 3, you had a 33% chance of using the right there, and you just missed it. You probably thought you had it. You probably thought you had the right there. You probably thought you had the right there, but you had a 33% chance of getting it. Yeah, you almost had it though. You almost had it. You almost had the right there, and I almost took you seriously. I would have taken you more seriously if you used the right there, but you just missed it. You just missed it. See, you can change your perspective on someone given new information. Okay? I wouldn't say that I hate anyone. Let no man bring you so low as to hate him. But I strongly oppose Elon Musk. Yes. Yes, I do. I strongly oppose Elon Musk. Any self-respecting person would oppose Elon Musk. Unless he's pushing your kind of agenda, your racist agenda, and I could see why you're for him, but enjoying it all. Thank you so much for the follow on Twitch. Thank you so much. Shout out enjoying it all for the follow. And Queen Jade Blue for the follow. On the road to 200. What's good, Master Liberty? Federal country, not a national country. Think Federalist 39 goes over that. Yes. So what is your policy position on the Senate? What do you mean? I feel like Congress in all right now is failing to be a co-equal branch of government. They are allowing this consolidation of power right now. They're only allowing this because they think it's in their best interest. They don't want to stand out to dear leader and face a primary. Because if there's one thing conservatives care about, it is money. And if you have to primary, that equals more money. That equals more fundraising. This is a great country. This country is a great country, and we're not going to divide it. We're going to make it better. Who, you know, would it be the worst thing? Just would it be the worst thing? Be inconvenient for sure, but where do you go on some of this? Like, you have people honestly living in an alternate reality. He ran a campaign of hallucinations. He made up stories on the campaign trail that were not real. They were saying people were eating the dog, eating the pets. That was not happening. And that went national. He said people were taking over apartment buildings. And watch, I say this, and there's going to be comments now. They were. No, they were the fuck not. And I will not entertain that. I will not go back and forth on that. You are hallucinating. I'm not going to validate your hallucination. I just will not do it. You are having schizophrenic tendencies. And if you go and look at the footage of those people that made those accusations, tell me there is not mental illness or illicit rug use there. Some of them had some meth mouth, I will say. Okay? Look who you're taking your word off. You're taking your word off someone who either has mental issues or rug issues, okay? And that is schizophrenic. That is schizophrenic fucking behavior. Would you change the Senate? If so, I wouldn't change the Senate. Yes. Blue states need to stop giving money to red states. Yes. And how about Arkansas? Asking for some socialism. Arkansas. You're telling me a Republican is asking for some socialism? And Trump said, nope. No socialism for you. He won Arkansas by what, 30 points? And they asked for just a little bit of socialism. Oh, AKA some FEMA help. And FEMA, don't get it twisted, is a socialist program. Okay? MAGA loves socialism. Oh, MAGA loves them some socialism. Oh, yes, they do. Oh, MAGA loves them some socialism. Oh, they just like to pretend they don't like the socialism, but they love the socialism. Oh, you best believe they love that socialism. They cry when that socialism doesn't come fast enough. Where's my socialism? My socialism didn't come fast enough. My socialism only gave me $750. I wanted my socialism to give me more money. I wanted my socialism to give me more. They only gave me $750. How about you get fucking nothing? How about you pull yourselves up by the fucking bootstraps? You love to say that to others. Huh? Come on. Pick yourself up by those bootstraps, baby. Come on. Obey or leave. Pick yourself up by those bootstraps right now. Come on. Pick yourselves up by those. Yes, Sarah Huckabee begging. But she won't call him out. Why won't Sarah Huckabee stand up for her constituents? Are you kidding me? If you're telling me if Biden told Sarah Huckabee no, Fox News would be silent? That Fox News would be silent? That Sarah Huckabee Sanders would be silent? This is where the obedience is with MAGA. They politicize everything, even if it hurts them. Even if it hurts them like it is here. Directly affecting them. But do you think for a second they will blame Trump? Never. They're never going to blame Trump. Ever. I keep waiting, but now I'm like so far past that because, again, he ran a campaign of hallucinations. And this is where I was going with it earlier. I got sidetracked. But he ran a campaign of hallucinations, right? He made up all these stories. He then wins this campaign. And so now it's validated. Now it's validated the hallucinations. So this is where I'm saying, there's not going to be a time now where we find common ground. Like that is gone. So how do we function then as a country? Because look at even before MAGA, it was the Tea Party. And their only goal was to block legislation. That's their only goal, was to make sure that the government didn't work efficiently. They wanted to just pound the table and keep government from working, okay? But that's now spread to the point that we're at now, where they are in control of all three branches. So my question is, we're saying blue states giving money to red states, okay? They're bleeding out. And if you look at the trends from 2000 to 2024, the amount of federal funding that goes to red states has increased like tenfold. Like, red states heavily rely on federal funding, which is why it's funny that they're cheering for the dismantling of all these federal programs. It's like your state relies on it. You're talking about, kick it back to the states. I think in 2012, I can look, but Mississippi was on the brink of going bankrupt, and it was going to be the first time in modern history that a state went bankrupt. Okay? If you kick back all of these programs and say we're going to just kick it back to the states, what happens? What happens when a state goes bankrupt? Is there a domino effect to other states? How do they get bailed out? Does the federal government bail that state out, or does another state bail them out? Does another state take them over, and now you're changing borders of a state? Say Alabama goes bankrupt. Say Mississippi goes bankrupt. What happens? I know that was a lingering question. I can look up the story, but Mississippi... U.S. bankruptcy court. I'll have to find the story, but I remember it. And there was a lingering question of what happens if a state were to go bankrupt. And now it's like, okay, what happens now when the federal government is raising debt at an alarming pace? Like, Trump is cranking up this debt, and they want to get rid of the debt ceiling. And there's not an economist out there that will say at what point does the system break? At what point, how much money can the American government go into debt? Like, how far can the hole go before the house of cards crumbles a bit? And I think we're starting to see some of what will happen is treasury bonds. Why do you think he folded? Why do you think he folded and put a 90-day pause? Treasury bonds. So if there's one thing that could keep him in check, and Jerome Powell having a job, but Jerome Powell just has to see the end of his tenure. And it could be Trump to, when does Jerome Powell, is it, what exact year is he done? Anybody know? Jerome Powell. Oh, January 31st, 2028. Oh, so it'll be the next president. Oh, no. Yeah. Because it's after he's sworn in. Oh. Interesting. Okay, so it's the next president we'll get to join. January 31st, 2028. That's into the next term. Oh, that's interesting. That kind of makes me think that Trump could fire him even more now because he doesn't want the next president to choose. Oh, interesting. I don't know why I haven't looked that up before, but there's only so much you can pay attention. Like, there's only 24 hours in a day. He's hitting it like a freight train from all angles. I try to pick and choose what I focus on and what stories I do. I try to do a range, but it has limits when you're a one man band, you know? It has limits. Um I was looking up Jerome Powell's term, okay? Jerome Powell's term as chair of the Federal Reserve Board of Governors ends on May 15, 2026. His term as a member of the board expires on January 31st, 2028. He was sworn in for the second term on May 23rd, 2022. Okay. Oh, so his chair is 2026, but he remains a board member till January 2028. Interesting. Interesting. So, okay, he can choose a new chair. All right, so there will be a new chair in Trump's term, but he stays a member until after Trump's term. It's just a story like I just find it interesting, and I didn't really care until he started threatening that he would fire him, and then the markets freaked the fuck out. Again, I think more market manipulation, but that's just me. It's kind of funny how he's making all this money. I don't know. But hey, I've been live for over an hour. I appreciate everyone who tuned in. I may go live later tonight, but appreciate everybody. If you aren't already, give a follow. Link in bio. Connect on other social media apps. Just because the lingering shutdown of this, that is still going to be a conversation. I just don't want to forget that it could. Thank you for the follows. Yeah, give a follow. Just tap that right there. I do put out content every day, and I try to put out content across multiple platforms. So link in bio to stay connected on all platforms. Happy to connect more. Got to connect with as many like-minded individuals as we can in these moments. And like I've said, we have to connect offline too at these protests if you can. I love to see that it's in 50 states. I feel like even in my local hometown, like where I grew up, shout out Manchester, Michigan, of having just a little protest like that is just so meaningful. Like these small towns, right? If you don't see something, just get some friends together and go on a sign. Like that's so meaningful just to get out. It feels good to publicly express yourself. It feels good to do that. So if you can, get out there and let the people know how you're feeling. And it does feel good to express yourself in that way. So keep it going. It's inspiring. I know when I join those, I get inspired and fired up, ready to go. So until next time, peeps. And thank you, Twitch. Let's pull this back up. I was having tech issues here. Let's see. All right. And thank you for the new followers on Twitch as well. And if you are on Twitch, give a follow on TikTok. I do go live more on TikTok than I do on Twitch. So I know I haven't been live on Twitch for like 10 days, but I have been live on TikTok. It's just hard to do everything all at once. Or if you're on YouTube or Kick, I'm also on there right now. Definitely tap into TikTok. That is definitely my main